Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on some interesting updates. We start with this Espanyol midfielder Sergi Darder, as it has been reported that manager Xavi tries to convince the 10 million euro Barca target to join Barca by explaining his role that he will have in the team if he joins. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then secondly, talking about Ansu Fati, as it has been reported that the Spain manager Luis de la Fuente have had multiple talks with the Barca prodigy to help him regain his confidence. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. On Monday evening, reports emerged claiming that Barcelona had cast admiring glances towards RCD Espanyol midfielder and captain Sergi Darder as a possible option to bolster their midfield this summer. The 29-year-old Spaniard, who will be available for just 10 million euros this summer due to his release clause, has emerged as a target, potentially as an alternative for Ilkay Gundogan should he decide to renew with Manchester City or join Arsenal. Even if Gundogan arrives, Darder could remain on Barcelona's agenda as a low-cost extra reinforcement in midfield, with Xavi Hernandez keen on adding more creativity and goals in the middle of the park. As such, it had been reported that Xavi had already spoken to the midfielder in order to win over his confidence, while Matteo Alemany was in talk with the players' representatives. But some reports had claimed that the Barca manager in fact had not held any talks with Darder. Not though Sergi Darder of Sport is reporting that manager Xavi Hernandez indeed spoke with Darder and has given an insight into the talks that went down between the pair as the Barcelona boss made attempts to convince the Espanyol man to switch allegiances to their rival club. As per the report, Xavi called Darder and gave a detailed explanation of the role he could have in the Barca setup. The manager informed the Espanyol captain that his arrival would allow him to rotate the likes of Pedri and Gavi freely to avoid injuries, given the number of games that Barcelona play each season. As it is, Pedri spent a lengthy spell out on the sidelines due to an injury last season, during which the team struggled, and Xavi believed that their arrival would help avoid such problems moving forward. Furthermore, the Barcelona head coach also explained to the 29-year-old that having an experienced individual with a positive character like him in a relatively young team would add up a lot of value for the rest of the team. However, Dade continues to have doubts over the transfer as he is aware of risking upsetting the Espanyol fan base by signing for their arch-rivals. Meanwhile, Barcelona also continue prioritizing the arrival of Ilkay Gundogan, but if the German decide not to move to Catalonia, the La Liga champions could up the ante in the pursuit of Sergi Darder. Sergi Darder, of course, have been making a lot of headlines, especially today, as Barcelona's hunt for a new midfield continues. Of course, we know that Barca wants a new midfielder, let me say a new DM, that's a priority. But apart from that, they want a central midfielder. And we've been talking about players like Ilkay Gundogan, as Barca want to bring him and adding with a new DM. But now talking about this other player in Sergi Darder, who is a captain of Espanyol, Barca have seen a lot that they like from him and they want him. He is 29 years old, of course he's an experienced player and Barcelona want to sign him and just to avoid any failure or disappointment in case um, Gundogan does not arrive or something happens, then Barca will be like, okay, we have tried to get the backup before he disappointed us. But they're also saying that even if Gundogan arrive, Barca have no problem to bring in another midfielder, another attacking minded midfielder. And of course, which means possibly if all things goes well, Barca can possibly sign even three midfielders. You know, that's really surprising. So Sergi Darder, of course, has is a player from our arch rivals Espanyol. The player have yet to respond to the rumors, but they are saying that he's a little bit scared because he doesn't want to upset the Espanyol fan base. Of course, we know Espanyol and Barca are the same city; they are rivals, and of course, it is always a hot, clashy derby. We saw how when we won La Liga 4-2 at their stadium, the game that saw us won La Liga, even after this, when we were celebrating at their pitch, they invaded the pitch and tried to drive the Barca players and staff away. So being the captain of the rival club, Sergi Dada is facing a lot of dilemma now. I must admit that coming to Barca might upset a lot of the fan base there at Espanyol. But of course, that doesn't concern us. It depends on what he says. They say Javi have called him to convince him on his role and why he needs him in his team next season. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. Ansu Fati's last two performances for Barcelona brought back glimpses of the youngster's imperial best. In 106 minutes against Mallorca and Celta Vigo, the youngster scored three goals for the Catalans. Moreover, there was a sense of confidence in his every touch from what I saw when his relatively simple finish hit the back of the net against Mallorca in the first minute of match day 37 of La Liga. It appeared as if he had finally been relieved of his shackles with renewed belief. He churned up good movements and chances for the team, and his positive run of form has only continued in the international break. Fati may have played only 54 minutes in Spain's Nations League final against Croatia. His impact in that final, which was very short, was tremendous. The La Masia prodigy recorded one shot on target, had one shot blocked, and completed a successful dribble on the night, which he may still be far from his free flowing best. It is a start for the player to turn around his situation. According to reports from Sergio Santos, Spanish national team manager Luis de la Fuente had a big role to play in Fati's improved form. The coach is said to have talked several times with the 20-year-old last week to help his confidence and instill belief in him. Over the past week, reports have brought out the uncertainty surrounding Ansu Fati's situation in Barcelona. After all, the youngster suffered last season with an acute shortage of minutes, and it is clear that he requires regular playing time to find his footing once more. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.